Yeah, and speaking of plugs, I love that Omegalil is using the Omega League logo. I don't think that's going to earn them points, but it's still appreciated. And yeah, to your point, I think Phoenix Void's another combo I've seen a lot. This is just a huge throwback. We saw this pretty much since Phoenix was out of the game. Phoenix Void first two. That's how another team TW used to play for. DC eliminated us from the TI6 qualifiers. That was painful. But it's just kind of insane team fight. It means this game goes 30, 40 minutes or more. You're pretty much always going to have some kind of win condition, and it's both BKB piercing.
Yeah, it's just, literally that, what Kyle just said, the double BKB piercing is like the main point there. It's actually insane. You don't even need to like think about winning the team fight, because like Phoenix Eggs, you either run away and get chrono, or you run in and get chrono. Like, it's just too easy to execute. But it is very punishable because you don't have good wave clear, and you can't really react early on. So you have to flesh out your draft with ways to do this. So 5men, for example, they had like the Beastmaster, the Quap. They had ways to pressure towers, force aggressive moves so that teams had to react. So they never had the resources to punish like no chrono or no egg. So I'd like to see EXTREMUM kind of pivot into that part of their draft. If they go all in on team fight, there'll be very easy timings in which this very fluid motion of Clinks and Ench will be able to like move around the map and punish it.
Yeah, sounds about right. And I'd like to see Omegalil get something to kind of push the tempo a bit. You'd like to have some sort of reach as well. I think Clink specifically as a carry concept really prefers to have a 4 position that can just go full in. I always loved it with Earth Spirit as an example, because you're going to find vision. You're going to be able to like get behind the Phoenix as an example, but you need something that actually provides the lockdown so that you have enough damage in the strafe to take it out 100-0.
Yeah, you can see they're pretty much banning out for Omegalil. They're going for the one hero that can sit in front of the tower, so Timbersaw, and potentially it might be an indicator of the type of hero they're looking to pick. And also Pangolier is a very default. If you want to end the game early, Pangolier is very annoying to like push into, if again comforted by the correct picks. But now Jakiro pickup does highlight the idea of it can sit behind the tower, it can defend it with his spells, even with Macropie, it can just be annoying enough to and classic Chrono pairing. You Macropie inside of Chrono. There's so much fire, it's impossible you die.
Yeah, and it's also a really nice hero for a new 5 position player. I don't care how long G's been playing the role, he'll always be a mid in his heart. And it is so much easier. I've said this to many people once they've swapped, both Adam, I think I talked to Misery about this for a little bit as well. But when you're a new 5, if you can pick a hero and play a hero that has natural wave clear, it's just so much easier, because you're just always going to have. I mean, wards used to cost money, so it's more important. But it's nice to have the ability, if you're doing nothing, just to hit some creeps real quick. And in addition, you can check high grounds, which makes dewarding much more efficient. You can min-max a lot easier. They go with Alina. This draft on Omegalil is super squishy. You can see that immediate starter pick from EXTREMUM makes a ton of sense. Look how much the EHP is currently favoring this Radiant lineup.
Yeah, it's actually kind of disgusting what EXTREMUM have. Sorry, it's too easy to take a fight right now. I think Omegalil, they put themselves in a position where they have to play so well in laning phase and like at such a high, like not even tempo, because it's not about tempo. It's just about playing positionally. And I think they're going to run to a point that no team with these heroes right now, unless they pick up some tankier heroes, will actually be able to ever approach an objective, because they'll just fall flat to one Blink Dagger Slardar or anything. Like they need like an Underlord or anything. Like it sounds terrible, but they need a tanky boy that can buy some aura to be strong, right? To play behind.
The trouble is you're already kind of out team fought, so a hero like Tide doesn't really make sense. And if you go for something like an Underlord against not just heavy magic damage, but max HP based damage, thanks to both the Phoenix, and then you also have Slardar ulti, which is just going to take somebody like Underlord. You know, you kind of feel like you might want to buy a pipe, but then you also need armor. You'd love to have some kind of cleanse. So Brewmaster makes a lot of sense, but I'm not the biggest fan, because I feel like you just kind of counter the split with Egg.
Yeah, we saw a Brew today where it was like there was so much reliance on the Brew being the one that could start the team fight, be the guy that could defend the tower in the fighting capacity, and it didn't really play out that well, because you do one bad split or you get one pick off and suddenly your entire draft is now waiting for him to come back into the map. So yeah, I think they might have put themselves into a corner of they have to play so well. Like, take that safe lane tower, take that mid tower, try and get an early Roshan. Someone probably needs to buy Medallion so they can actually get an early Roshan. And then, sure, they could maybe play at such a high pace. Slardar never gets Blink. Void never gets to anything. But Dota is a very slow game nowadays. It's not like the zoo time of previous patches. So you expect them to get that farm eventually.
So it's a lot of what-ifs here for Omegalil, and they don't have all the pieces they want right now. Is there a saving grace? Is there one that might be able to bring them back into this slightly for the last pick?
Depends on what their carry here is going to be. Like, what's their big win condition right now? Because they've got...
Carl's just shaking his head like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm saying the words, but they're not sounding good.
It's just that you're already looking at it. Your draft, it's just so squishy. And I just don't see the damage. You like to see combinations, like damage amplification is a concept that you'll see all the top teams abuse in different ways. OG probably most notably, because 2 TIs in a row, it wasn't just damage amp. They were utilizing like damage reduction with like the Wisp and the Spectre and a Centaur with Ags, and you just stack all of this up to the point where the enemy side effectively just has to create more damage than is possible. Thus, they cannot kill your hero before they cast their spells. Omegalil, Ench and Lina have to be protected at all times. Clinkz is wants to function as this more assassin-style carry, whereas Extremium is just, okay, Slardar Void, go. Phoenix, go. Everybody use your spells. And if these 4 heroes, 4 on forward in the middle of the river, Extremium is going to win like 95% of the time if everybody just gets their spells off. And that's a problem. And Omegalil, I'm really just not sure what direction they're going to go here. I'm stuck.
There's actually also not even a lot of lockdown on their lineup. So even when you have this sweeping aggressive motion and they do find like this pick-off, or at least they find a hero, what's their setup? They've got an LSA? Like, what else? What are you packing in the don't run away from me department from Omegalil? So this Void, as long as he doesn't do atrocious in lane, he's just going to be unkillable. So I'm very scared.
This sounds like one of the most one-sided drafts we've had in a while.
Yeah, kind of. I'm down for that.
I don't believe in Brewmaster when anybody other than S4 is playing it.
Super biased, Kyle, of course.
It's kind of in line, I think. Yeah, I think Brew is a hero that kind of baits you in a draft where you pick it and go, damn, I got this Brew. I'm going to be able to like single core lineup. It isn't going to work. There's Voids now in the air. How are they going to fight? But in reality, it's like, well, what else are you really doing? You're not really doing anything. Like you're cool in lane, kinda sometimes, but other than that, you're just a big cooldown split man, and you need a lineup to pair behind it. And this is where me and Kyle have our kind of doubts of this lineup is they don't have the rest of the draft to enable this Brew.
I love the drought ban from Extremum because we're talking about like what's the answer, and that would have been great because all of a sudden that damage amp is there, and yeah, sure, your draft is still squishy, but you've got Brewmaster Teamfight, and suddenly you've got a bunch of heroes that can suddenly just become DPS cannons. Instead, they're going back for a Void Spirit, and we just don't see the win condition. Omegalil, there's no natural timing where you're like, okay, it's go time, we're gonna go mess some people up. The BKBs aren't a window either because you're playing against Void, and ultimately Extremum, as long as you keep a firm hold on the mid game, you don't fall too far behind. One Roche fight, one clash around a tier 2, that's going to be decisive. You take the game if you just trade even.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice pick as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's really good. So the way that Omegalil draft, they kind of open up Clinkz and Void Spirit to flex between mid and carry because they don't have this last pick, right? Their first pick, meta dictates, second pick is just better nowadays. So they're kind of trying to be very cute with this double flex, but Extremum, they've now picked up, like, I needed to see them have a hero that can play around and be disruptive without the need of, okay, we have to bring the Chrono, we have to bring this, and this Quaswex Invoker potentially will have all the delay needed to keep the game going long enough that they come online, and eventually, if you go for the Ags build and have Cataclysm, you hit a Chrono, you press one button, 2 Sunstrikes are going to kill pretty much anyone. Like, it's too easy for these guys to delay, prolong, and then destroy at like 30 minutes.
So it's looking real good for Extremum.
Oh, for sure. They got the knockout punch whenever they really want it. I love the Invoker pick. It's more damage amp for your Void. You've got Slardar ulti. You've got Alacrity now as a threat as well. Tons of lockdown, tons of team fight, and most notably, you've got combo break. Like Omegalil, you're counting. It's all Brewmaster and Void Spear. Just please, God, make something happen for us. And I think Extremum they've got something real solid. Cats off to them.
Yeah, I will say the one thing we do have to look out for and we have to show respect to, is the early tower push from Omegalil. If they do bring in like those numbers, it is hard for like Void, Slardar to really like actually defend the tower unless they have ults. So if you can somehow like bait out an ult in one position, instantly relocate around the map to another position and pressure, you might be able to get like a couple bit of like maybe map advantage. But fundamentally, you are on such a large timer that one mistake just kind of throws away your game. So you will be seeing Omegalil with an early advantage most likely in this game. But that advantage won't really kind of translate into anything, I don't think.
So it's not going to matter this way. It seems like you both are against the Omegalil team. So let's get into this game. Could Omegalil become Omegalol after this one? We'll have to wait and see, as we got Zyori and Trent to take us through the game. And are our panel right, guys? Are you agreeing with them? I know you like to throw a curveball out there.
Feels bad,
Can't
man.
hear him.
Really? You're that out on this?
There
You think they got no hope? I think they have hope. I think they were a little harsh. All right. There's a reason people hate Klink's Ench, okay? And I'm waiting to see how brutal it can be.
It's just hearing.
There we go.
Oh, there
Sorry.
we go. Oh.
I think they can hear me now. There we go.
Yeah, there we are.
Sorry, folks.
Oh,
I'm inclined to agree with this panel. That's what I said earlier. The mega team fight, the Invoker, I think it was a great last pick.
30 seconds to battle.
well, thank you, Zari, for making it so I'm not just babbling into nothingness. I think they got the gist of it, thanks to me. You're welcome. I can handle it for the both of us. But yeah, so they're pretty harsh on poor
Sorry.
Omegalil.
Sorry
here
about that.
as,
Thank you for the carry there, Trent. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. I got
That's
you.
what
Don't
you're
worry.
here for, doing the heavy lifting. They were a little bit harsh indeed, and maybe there's a world where they can play fast enough on the Lil squad here, the memers, that there's a chance. But you don't think this team fight is just nasty? Egg on top of Chrono with all that damage from the Jakiro, the follow-up from the Invoker. Like, this is some serious wombo combo, man.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not feeling it. I'll give them that. It's gonna be a hard game for Omegalil. I definitely see how they can do it. It's the classic of, well, if they just run down the lanes, you know.
Right.
But I do think the Invoker was like the perfect last pick. The second they went Void Spirit, I was like, oh man, the Invoker, I guarantee is coming out next, because like look at this slide. The Invoker he loves having all these people on his team. And they love having Invoker. Like, Tornado setup is good for pretty much everyone on EXTREMUM.
Yeah, absolutely. Great control. A lot of not just team fight, but you got stuns from Slardar. You've got Ice Pass from Jakiro. You've got Phoenix with constant slow, big damage over time. It's not just the team fight. They've also got pretty good lanes. Like, I don't really see how the meme squad here on the Dire are going to be able to just run down these lanes. The lanes, I think, should be relatively even. It's not like EXTREMUM have bad laners. You got Jakiro down here in the safe lane, trading with Alina.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking for the Dire team taking advantage, it's going to be at our level 6 markers, where we're going to be looking to see just how they can use that death pact, and then as well the first split versus the first Chrono, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chrono also a lot longer than the older days, so it's actually like closer.
160.
Yeah, closer to the Panda. Like it never gets better, you know, for Chrono. Whereas the Panda, at least it can get down to like 120 and stuff later on. Maybe that's something they can abuse, but man, we're getting real low up top here on both heroes.
Belhor almost dead. Needed one more. 25 HP. He'll live through that one.
He came with no bonus armor versus a Klink's Ench. I guess just figuring that the ring wouldn't do enough anyway, so try and get to my tranquils.
Yep. I mean, there's a good amount of pure damage coming out of the Inch too, so I kind of get it. Belhor now has to use another Fairy Fire, feeds over the Courier. That'll distract the Enchantress for just a moment, and it does keep Belhor alive. Tough offlane, though, for EXTREMUM.
Yeah, and a very important hero for trying to take an early advantage will be that Void Spirit in the mid. Now, currently, Sunlight getting beat up a little bit, as we just get a little suicide in the top tower. But he's doing pretty well here on Sunlight, right? 12-2 to the 8-3. I mean, it's Quaspex Invoker, so we know he's just trying to chill in the lane for the most part.
He starts a little slow.
Yeah,
Got
but
the
he
easy
also
regen.
rotates out slower, too.
Certainly a lot of pressure on the Void Spirit this game to kind of set the tempo. And he does play around a similar timing as the Klinks. But I guess there is some synergy across the Dire lineup in terms of all of their cores do work around like a similar timing, a somewhat comparable power spike, I suppose. It's more how do we transition that into controlling the map and ultimately controlling the game that I'm worried about.
And if we're ever not dictating the pace, we kind of just lose. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit of a knife-edged sort of style there.
Oh.
No, there's the revenge courier kill.
Velhor finds it, but now he's in pretty deep here. No Icarus dive, getting body blocked by the Ench. Clinks throwing in the right clicks. One more. That'll find it. First blood for Kellen.
That looks like an attempted salve, too. I think I heard trying to fog. Extra pain for the poor Phoenix.
Slardar doing everything he can, but Enchant, quite effective against the Slardar. This poor melee fish.
Ah! Yeah, Afterlife will just have to waddle his way back to lane.
Mid lane is leveling out a little bit. Melajewel putting some counter pressure on and closing that CS gap. And it looks like this bottom lane has gone very even. Nefrit and Malik within 1 or 2 last hits of each other.
And Malik, Brewmaster, one of his bigger heroes, has a really good win rate on it, too, actually. It's like high 60s or something. He's definitely...
Oh, wow.
He's into the Brewmaster in the pro matches, so it's not the best of the spam combos that we've seen with the Ignite this game via the Cinder Brew. 100 mana on both of the spells early on, but it's also Lina, so if you can like keep comboing with stuns and Dragon Slave, it is going to be a lot of damage you can stack up. Yep. I'm guessing G is a very low level because he's playing super far back a lot of the time, just like trying to give some space to Nefrit, but also he just like can't really contest the pulls that well versus Lil because he's not sure if he's just going to get tagged.
Big pressure onto the Clinks. He's burning down. Need a few more right clicks, though, and the Slardar can't find it in the trees. He's fogged up, and now Kellen gets the counter kill.
There's another stomp here in 1 second. It might expire, though. No, it's still good. He's got one more second.
Not
He
going to
doesn't even need it.
Impetus into right click. 4-0. Big start for the Dire.
Oh, Happy and Arc are absolutely slaying it up here.
And right now, most of the lead is coming in the offlaners. Brew at 2.2k net worth, and I guess this Slardar is the offlaner. We'll see down bottom G get initiated on. Malik laying in the right clicks, and they'll make it 5. Lil getting credit for that one. But yeah, hard to tell who's the core up in the top lane for the Radiant.
Yeah, they're getting crushed. I mean, it is the Slardar, but yes, it's not really showing, obviously.
Being facetious here is he is not really hitting creeps.
Yeah, I gotcha.
They are going to rotate now. Jakiro, G coming up to save the day. And he save it.
The real problem is if they don't get this kill, Nefrit is just like losing it on fire for nothing, but Arc went really deep here, and frankly, he was dead even without the Jakiro. I'm not sure about that one, but...
Yeah, old A. Charges up the bash.
I guess he saw there was like no detection maybe in their inventories and thought he could get away with a quick skeleton walk or something.
Yeah. I think, generally speaking, Slardar is
right down bottom, though.
Dead, almost. A few more. Dragon Slade. Lil finds it. 7-1.
Now, was that punish worth it? Like, sure, you slowed down their big farmer, but your Void, who's already struggling, is now been left alone, and then he dies too.
Clinks is going to be just fine taking a tumble there if it sets up a kill on the Void. I do think Slardar is actually pretty strong right now on the 3, but you see that he needs a little bit to get going. Like, he doesn't do that much at level 1, even level 2. It's like he wants to get to level 6 without taking too much damage, without taking too many deaths. And Finch is just the perfect hero to slow him down before he gets anything.
Yeah, he's almost like Batrider in terms of matchups, where it's like, there's matchups that are just so good for Slardar, where the enemy carry just hates their life, and then there's matchups like this, where you're just like, oh my god, there's a Slardar in my lane, guys.
I mean, seriously, do you see that? He didn't do anything. They showed up at lane, and they just ran him down. Mid lane now, we'll see another fight break out. They get Sunlight, maybe a counter kill. Velhor getting pretty low. Lil finishes it off, at least gets a trade. They'll end up a 2-for-2 around the map. Still 4k net worth lead, though. The Omegalils.
And Malik, unfortunately, Void, not a hero you can easily kill with a split, unless he's like kind of low and uses Time Walk. And then maybe you have a chance at it. If he's at like 60% or something HP.
Yeah. Definitely not an easy target, though.
that could wind up being a bit of a problem for them too. It's just like the easy gank targets, because Invoker, Slider is probably the easiest one, but he's so broke already. Like again, he's just dead. Like he's not even really worth ganking right now. Trying to get Lil to level 6 here so they can Laguna and get a kill on Nephrit. Those are actually going to be 6 long before the Tome. Happy's in behind here as Velor comes back towards the room, maybe trying to make some stacks. He's going to run into Melojul and Velor.
Not going to be able to survive this one.
No.
Nature's attendance not going to be enough.
0 down bottom, though.
They get G.
And that was with nothing. No split, no Laguna. So,
Nephrit in the trees.
Yeah, still just scared. TP's home? Why did he just TP home? That's not great. I feel like could have at least went to a lane.
The ultra safe, I guess. I don't have a good explanation for you. Okay, he wants to smoke up with Belhor, so it looks like they want to use the Chrono. It was part of a broader plan here, the rendezvous at the tier 2.
Oh, he gets smoked. They know he's there. It's like, hey, look, Afterlife's actually playing on the wave, guys. I wonder what they're up to. And Happy gonna get the D-ward off and not even get punished here. That scan was glorious. They've even brought Invoker up here. They are desperate for a kill onto Arc, and he's just gonna see Elton walk himself away.
Double damage rune down bottom. It'll sit there for now. They find Sunlight with the Chrono. All right, nice easy setup. Clean kill.
Stands against me. Stands briefly.
Like they knew they were there, but they just maybe thought they could use the Void Spirit for it and get away with it. Bit greedy though.
No.
On the other hand, Kellen now mid is spotted by a sentry. He's gonna know that now the creeps turn on him.
And 5K net worth lead.
6K even.
And
And they can't really push him off this tower down bottom. With no Chrono. They would need the Void. Okay, he's got a DD. This might be something.
No macro pyre. Let's see if they can do this. Ice Path into Tornado. EMP. Right clicks. All right, they'll be there. Malik low. Got a little close for a second there. Now back up top. Looks like they're in on the old A again. Sunlight initiates it. Easy kill.
Trying to get one more, or at least pop the egg, but no mana left there as well, so it could have been a real problem there with one more attack. They save the bottom tower. Still haven't used that split. I want to try and get that done before the Chrono returns. He's going to come to the mid lane. They're going to try and set up on a Nephrit here. Perhaps. I don't think it was just the two of them. Oh, that was a really short time walk. We're closing in on the mid lane. Let's go for that big damage. He doesn't have the munch right now.
This is a big rotation. Both teams committing a lot. Lina, the only one not nearby.
I know they have to bring full numbers, because if they go for the Bruce split, then you have to have, like, overwhelmingly outnumber your opponent, right? You have to have, like, everyone there if you want to fight the split.
Okay, now we're going to smoke up, though. Only as 3, it looks like, for Extremum. This is an interesting rotation.
I think they're just going to punish him again. He's got no charges on the wand, so, again, if he gets hit by the EMP, he does just die, because he can't split. He's only got 435 mana pool.
All right, looks like that'll happen again. Okay, another clean kill on the Brewmaster. Phoenix Egg goes off. Now back up to the top lane. Nephrit going to be in some trouble, but does have a time walk. Yeah, not enough lockdown.
Doesn't feel like great when you're like super farmed off lane. It started out so hot, still doesn't cast his ultimate, or really like he's forcing big rotations down the bottom lane, which is good because it's like furthering clinks, but it sucks when he's still just dying every time and not even like getting a trade kill or something.
I don't know. Is it really worth it, though? I guess if we look at the goal graph, it has kind of stalled the growing lead that they were
We should
picking
use
up.
his Midas. That would be great.
Oh,
there we go. Now he's playing safe. Now he put walk in the river to Midas a creep.
I don't know. The Bruce still pretty farmed. He still has Midas. It's like I don't know how much those kills really punish him. Like it's an investment. It takes 3 heroes to rotate across the map. It hasn't really netted them much. The side of Extremum, I mean.
Well, he's just dying so fast that they're not even getting from the other side. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of farm for Kellen/Ark, but they didn't get the top tower. They haven't managed to get the mid tower. They made a big rotation mid themselves that got defended. Again, we know they're on a bit of a timer here, right? This looks like a good start, though. Everyone's waiting here.
Old A, yeah, he walks right into it.
Oh, that's only one person split.
Pops the chrono. And they still turn this, though. It's Void Spirit down, still a 4v4. The little stack still grouped up. Bruce split. They finish off Jakiro with a Laguna. Now hungry for more. Icarus dive in. Void trying to make it out. They might just focus the Phoenix. There's the egg, and I think it's done for. Yeah, it's dead already. An awkward fight for Extremum, and they are out of gas. Now this Void, time walk up in 1. He does get it, and that'll keep him alive.
Happy's back there. Got one still. Not enough, though.
Okay, that was ambitious.
That was Clinks with essentially a DD that whole fight with a plus 92 from Deathback.
So it's a 2 for 3. Does favor the Lil squad. Not by much. Couple hundred gold.
Now they're going to keep that pressure on the tower.
Yeah, a little scary when you can't win a fight even with Chrono.
Yeah, plus they fully killed him in the Chrono too. Like the split wasn't even able to save.
Right.
That does mean that Sunlight's like full power here now in the mid lane, which is why they're able to just force down that tower.
Open up that map a little bit. 2 towers now down for Extremum. Nifrit looking for Yasha first item on Void.
He's far behind. He wasn't able to get a single like real farming item. Couldn't get the Midas, couldn't get the Mask of Madness. Knew that the battle was coming because that's the only way that Omegalil can play.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough. I guess Yasha is as good a value item as any at this stage of the game. At least gives you a little movement speed to try to help your farm. Not great, though.
Here's what the play is as a Clinks player here. Do you just wait until the Ench gives you a creep? Like, you had catapult. It's like, no. You just, like...
Good question, actually.
There's only 15 seconds downtime. Like, you could be hitting creeps this whole time with Deathfact. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, Happy's supposed to just be finding a creep right now to send. Does one job.
High risk play now from Extremum. They'll walk into the Roche pit, smoked up.
There's a TP on Kellen.
Uncontested right now. Omegalil. They might be suspicious. They haven't scouted it out quite yet. Roche at 50% HP.
Golem's in. He knows.
We've seen it officially. And they'll
we got
back
the
out.
strats. So we eat him, and now you got 2 golems. Oh, he didn't get him out of the way, and Roche just killed him. Now he gets plus 80 off that. Not bad.
All right, well, now we'll walk into the pit. The Omegalil's happy to finish off this Roshan. The question is, will they try to contest on Extremum?
Yes, the Invoker persona, a.k.a. the fake courier on the Forge Spirit. I swear, I always think that thing's a courier.
Sunray scouting things. Now Primal Split and a smoke from the Omegalils. They'll try a wraparound on the backside. They'll catch Jakiro. Looks like the first kill of the fight. Took him a second. Malik scouting things out with the Storm Panda, being as annoying as possible. Now back into the Roche pit. Phoenix Egg goes down. It's in a pretty good spot. Looks like it'll be uncontested. Chrono as well sets up the Phoenix Egg stun. Brewmaster in some trouble. Ench as well, but Roche dies to the Dire. Kellen gets the Aegis. Extremum now trying to punish. They'll press forward in onto the Clinks. They'll stand his ground, throw the Aegis, and now the buyback onto Malik. No Bruce split, but they want to defend this Clinks. Kellen should be able to make it away. And Old A will also live.
That was really well delayed from EXTREMUM, and then Velor with kind of a perfect egg because it was too far away for them to really do anything, and it was also close enough to his void that it's like, all right, if they suddenly were on that egg, he could just straight up chrono the egg, but realistically, he knew the egg was going to be fine, so then he just chronoed within its humongous radius.
Yep. Ooh, for sunlight up top. Missed the
That was
setup.
unfortunate. I was just completely luck that he lived there.
We'll take the moment to revel with a pause.
So it's a 10k lead, but you just saw that the power of the team fight cannot be ignored here because that looked pretty bad for Omegalil despite having such a humongous advantage at the moment.
Yes, though I think one of the ongoing problems is going to be Lil on the Lina. He is starting to feel a little bit more like a core. He's got 6k net worth, higher than the Faceless Void right now.
The best thing that he has for them right now is the Aether Lens LSA because they just need the Chain Stun onto whoever. Like, be it the Slardar, any three of these cores have that like slippery essence about them, and they just need like a little bit of help to try and chain them down. And then now that he has the Yules and the LSA, that is indeed going to be a problem territory here.
Even just having a Lina that's scaling a little bit against the Phoenix is a nice asset to hit the egg. Perfectly placed in the last fight, but...
Yeah, you highlight over this LSA and you just kind of realize how broken it is. Because he has the 75 cast talent and the Aether Lens. So
yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Dragon Slave is also insanely large. Pink Dagger on Slardar. Okay, this is a big one for EXTREMUM. Old A. He's finally got his first item.
That's like actually his first item in this game. He bought those phase boots so long ago. He must be so happy he got Essence Ring. That's basically double Bracer to save your game.
Yeah, but Clink's also getting his first real item. He went straight MKB.
Yeah.
So
and
the
now
Bone
he's
Fletcher,
got plus 233 damage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the
So,
inverted 3-2-2.
Watch out.
And his max health only increased by 1,400 with the Death Pact.
Yeah, I
good.
mean that's cool.
Pretty good. This is a pretty
Happy
sweet
they had a
combo.
Sentry.
Clink's Inch. Let's see how fast the Void dies in the duration of an LSA. Good night, sweet Nefrit. Old A now. He'll get chased down. Blink Dagger, not so useful once you get initiated on. And now Phoenix. Icarus dives. Stopped.
He's dead.
Bye-bye.
Got the taunt chain after. Oh,
Well,
what a combo.
That, for 20 minutes, that was a stupid amount of damage that Clink's put out.
Yeah, and a Sentry can't save you if you don't have the vision on top of it, right? It was nighttime, so I don't think the tower quite had the range to see the Clinks.
I mean, no, but with that Death Pact, it doesn't even matter. Like, can you react to that damage? He has the Strafe.
Well, you can not get LSA'd. I mean, you can not stand close enough to the Clinks where you're like, oh, I'm going to die with any stun.
Fair enough, I guess. It's just such a crazy amount of burst. It's not just that Clinks hits that hard. It's that how many arrows he can get out. You know, level 3 Strafe, that's 5 seconds of 150 extra attack speed.
Yeah, I love how he's not even at max yet.
Yeah.
It actually gets better still.
Yeah, same with Searing Arrows. It's level 3. He's maxed out the Skeleton Walk. Like, his damage hasn't even hit peak yet. That's one item. Man, I thought the Death Pact with Enchantress was a little bit of a meme. I think we joked about this when we first read the patch notes during that podcast, and I am a believer now, buddy.
Well, it got tuned down, remember? In the patch right after, right? They tweaked more Clink stuff.
Yeah, I see in 7.27c on the tooltip. It was 60, 80, 100% health gained, and that was reduced to 60, 70, 100.
Well, and also the damage went down by 2%, 1%, and then the same at level 18. So
I see. So they nerfed the early level.
Nerfed at level 6. And then you notice the second you hit level 12, it's like, oh, wow, this is kind of terrifying still.
Yes. Pretty impressive stuff. A crazy amount of damage. I'm excited to hear our analyst panel backtrack their way through this one.
Well, that's the life of the panel. You never quite know what's going to happen.
It is hard to
It's
call.
fun when Kyle's so confident. but that's what makes him Kyle.
I mean, I think there was a direct quote. This is the most imbalanced draft of the tournament, the most one-sided draft in favor of
it might have been
EXTREMUM.
said. It sounds like something that might have been said. There's rumors that it was said. I don't believe there's actually any recorded footage.
Oh,
Ice
bottom
Bath
lane.
into macro. There's the return kill, though.
All right,
The hit
that's a big
squad is out. They're getting themselves back in this game.
Hey, that counts for something. All right, 19-12. Still a pretty solid lead for the Omegalils.
All right, how many halberds do we need? That's the question. So far, they only have the Phoenix working on one. Pretty good hero, though. Velar obviously going to have a wide range of mobility to try and tag that onto the Clinks.
I would think Halberd on Slardar might be a pretty good item. A lot of utility, some great value stats. Pretty
We're
easy
at
build-up.
256 damage currently as Melojewel comes into the mid lane.
Well, Invoker, it was nice knowing you, bud. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a 4 or 5 shot.
That was a kill streak, too. 5xer. Oh, they have off sentry combo here, too. They know there's no detection down.
Ellen is
Velar
rolling.
dive.
No work.
That Yules must have been close. Lil was almost there.
Where are you going?
And now they'll find G. And Clinks is having a field day right now. I think all of us watching this game have been in a match where you're against the Clinks, where he gets out of control right like this, and he just starts owning the map. It is so hard to play against.
It is comically stupid, I have to say.
It feels like Kellen can be pretty much anywhere. Crazy damage, crazy good
let's see
movement
this.
speed.
So, we don't take the centaur. Okay. All right, we got a centaur. So he's got 2,300 HP. And that gives him plus 256. Once it's all together, obviously.
Yeah, plus 207 if you mouse over the tooltip.
Yeah, without the MKB,
Yep.
etc.
So that creeps 1,600 HP, 207 max damage.
It's nice. It's pretty good, I think.
And I think we had also joked about this with just buying a Helm of the Dominator and then using it with a Clinks on your team to get this. But
Well, I was waiting for the Darkseer before they picked the Brewmaster with the 400 health. You know, I want to keep this going.
right. Oh, they find Clinky.
Oh, buddy.
I mean, Boyd up top. Clinks is there, and they've got some damage. Time walks back. Kellen a little afraid to get caught in the chrono there. They'll have another
Too many
Yules,
Yules.
though. Follow-up stun, Lagooner. That is a dead, faceless Void. 2 Yules, one on Lena and one on Void.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's still working on just going Manta right now on the Void.
All right, G up top. 1, 2. Oh, he's lost the Dark Pact. Okay, he doesn't have the crazy damage. He's going to have to kill the Jakiro like he's a hero instead of a creep. Really made Kellen work for it there.
So Invoker's gone for the Agnums. Slider is so poor that he's going for the blink right into the Solar Crest. And then Phoenix was forced to go Halberd. So what do they have against the Void Spirit Ags, which is now done?
I'm thinking nothing there, big dog.
They actually just die to Clinks if you get hit by it. Like, until, like, Void
Do they
Spirit's
not
going to have
have-
Manta. That'll be his item, but
Wow. They don't have a single item that deals with the silence.
that's some feels bad.
No Yules, no Lotus, no Guardians.
I mean, does the Yules even save you, though? Like, it doesn't versus Void Spirit, right? That's the whole benefit of the hero. That's why
It doesn't
he's actually
really,
the counter to Yules.
doesn't really, but at least in this game you have like a Void Phoenix. So if you get caught, having that reset, a Chrono could come down and change it. So it's
That's
like
true.
it's better than nothing in this scenario. But I agree. In general, it's not a great option versus Void Spirit.
So Nefrit, big pressure on these Chronos, my dude. Get you back in the game.
Hardar with the setup. Okay, Chrono onto Kellen. Some follow-up damage, but now Sunlight, he's in the back line. He's bringing the pain. Kellen survives. This is not going to go well for EXTREMUM. Oh my gosh.
I'm not even sure if it would be balanced if he didn't get the health. And yet he still gets the health.
Right, if it was just the damage buff. And
Yeah.
I mean, 2,800 HP is a lot. Brewmaster with a Midas at level 16 only has 2,100. That's GG.
Well, they were right. It was the most imbalanced draft of the tournament. Our panel does it again.